everybody, and welcome to Virtual Trek Con with Sork Lofton.
Hello, hello.
Our very special guest is Mr. Gary Graham. How are you?
Thank you very much. I am just fine.
You know him. Oh,
you know him. You love him. You can't live without him.
You know him as Soval in Star Trek Enterprise, also known as Enterprise. You also know him as, what was his name? Tanis?
Tanis.
Was
Tanis, anyone? Yes.
Tanis, anyone?
The mentalist or whatever.
Right.
What was I? A mentalist?
It was Tanis in Voyager.
Yes.
You also know him from Robot Jocks. A lot of old school nerds know him from Robot Jocks and Alienation, which was also a cult classic.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Classic. Cult classic basically is a euphemism for it didn't do that well. Kind of bombed, but people love it.
My brother loved Alienation. I remember that when I was a kid. He loved Alienation, but yeah.
I remember Alienation too.
Really?
You do?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, of course. Of course I do. Yeah.
You're taking us on a trip. Can you give us some of your memories from Alienation as far as...
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. We're still moving.
It's like a labyrinth.
I know. It's crazy. Now, what was the question?
So, Alienation, right? Do you remember like the auditioning process, or do you remember like your first time on set?
Oh yes, the auditioning process. Man, it happened real fast, as I recall. Unexpectedly, I was that chronic condition that actors know so well in Hollywood, unemployed, and
actors know all about the chronic in Hollywood. Yeah.
Well, this is just a chronic condition, and I was unemployed and got a call and went in and did a quick reading, and I'd read for something recently, read for a bunch of things recently, and got nothing, and so I was sort of at the point of screw it, I'm just going to wing it, and I went in with that attitude and just looked over the script and just flew in and it went well, and I cracked them up. I nailed all the humor in it, and punched it, hit it when I had to hit it, and felt good about it. Came home. Agent said, "Man, you're in the final 5 or 6 guys reading for it," and I went back for the throwdown, the
callback,
the slam down, callbacks. And came down to me and another guy, and then we did another round, and I walked away with it. So it was a wonderful, wonderful moment in my life because such great people, Kenny Johnson, and working with Eric Pierpoint and Terry Treese and Diane Scarabelli, and so many wonderful people. And it was cool. It was to me, it was exciting to do because it was such a roundabout way to address race issues in America through these aliens from another world, a different species, land on Earth and assimilate into American culture, and they're not welcome because they're different. They're strange. People don't trust them, and there were so many interwoven, covert messages for our times now and our problems, interracial problems, and all that. That we were so well received by minority communities. They just loved us and adored us wherever we went. I remember we did a convention in New Orleans after the thing.
Katrina. Or no?
No. I think this was before Katrina. I'm not sure.
Must have been
89.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was 89
way
and 90.
Before,
yeah. Way before.
Yeah.
And we were just we were so embraced by the Black community. It's crazy walking down Bourbon Street, practically mobbed. And I didn't even know that very many people knew that we even had a show alienation. I just thought, well, it'll maybe we'll get legs, maybe we'll develop an audience along the way. But they immediately embraced it. And I was with my partner Eric Pierpoint, who played George, of course, and he's got the head, and he wasn't readily recognized, but I was all over the place. I felt like Elvis. I was almost mobbed. And I kept having to say, and Eric's getting trampled for them to get to me and say, hey, I was up to the show. And I had to grab him and say, hey man, this is Eric Pierpoint. He plays George. This guy's great. And Eric said, no, I'm cool. I'm enjoying just watching them tackle you. But we were just so loved. And oddly enough, this struck me funny. Not funny, but I wasn't ready for it. We went to another, not a convention, but we went to Universal
City
ride.
Walk?
At some big party or something. Okay. We were there. And there were a bunch of little people absolutely related to the newcomers in Alienation, and they just kind of surrounded me and just showered love on me. They just absolutely loved the Alienation because they related to it. They related to being different by society's standards and being discriminated or
right.
being thought of as look at midgets and all that. So they embraced us as well, which is very exciting.
That's something that we get all the time with Star Trek is like all of these metaphors where, or where it's just everything they say, oh no, it's just aliens, and it's they mask the stories of today in sci-fi, whatever it is, costuming, oh no, it's not this race, it's just an alien, or that they present the themes within the realm of the sci-fi universe, and Star Trek does that really well.
Yeah.
Alienation was well received, because of that. But on the other hand, you kind of played the other side then in Enterprise, right? You were kind of like the man, and when you played Soval in Enterprise, you were kind of like the looming figure that was watching over everybody, kind of playing the man, right? Or did you not see it that way?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I did. I was, and there were many elements to my portrayal, to my character, and that was certainly one of them. And another one was, I attached, first of all, I was only hired for the pilot, and and who knew, first of all, I didn't know if the series would go, and secondly, if it did go, would it go with me? So I thought, well, let's think positive, and let's think that this is going to be warmly received. And the Star Trek fan base is so universal; it's everywhere, and a huge successful franchise. And I said, well, if it goes, will I be attached? And so I thought, well, let's see. This guy seems to be a stick in the mud and somebody who opposes the star Archer, mm-hmm. Somebody who goes up against the human is mistrustful of humans in general, and definitely wants to stop Archer because I don't trust him, and I'm arrogant enough. I'm a Vulcan. I'm a proud Vulcan, and we're so superior to humans, and
you guys were the overseers, right?
Yes.
Watching the child race fumble through
Take
things.
them by the hand and usher them into, the future before they blow themselves up. With that attitude, I thought if I make myself a worthy enough foil for Archer, or a worthy enough adversary, a roadblock, always being the impediment of whatever they want to accomplish, they'll bring me back. They'll say, oh, wow, this guy, because that's what drama is contrasting intentions and all that. And so I said, how can I really make myself arrogant enough and obnoxious enough and just I wanted them to hate me right away. And they apparently agreed because they kept bringing me back. Apparently I was despicable enough, but intelligent, in a way. So it was a thin line to straddle, but they seemed to agree, and so I was really happy to do my 4 years, and they brought me. Thank God, Manny Cotto came in on the last season, and he had a particular penchant for Vulcans. He just loved Vulcans, and he gave me so much to do to complete my what am I saying? My cycle,
your character arc, yeah.
My character arc. That's it, and I was ever grateful for that. Anyway, so it was great fun and a challenge, and surprisingly, I thought, I must admit, I'm full disclosure. I knew very little about the Star Trek universe prior to working on Star Trek. I just, I watched it when I was a kid, but I never really followed it and got really deep into it. And the pilot, when we were shooting the pilot, this is my first day on the set, and I know my lines, so I think I know how the scene should go. I think I know, who I am. And very elaborate costumes and makeup. And, hours after all this preparation, I'm onto the set, and Rick Berman is there, and he looks at me and he says, "Wow, you look like a Vulcan." And I said, "Rick, can I have a word here? I know I do, don't I? But I'm not sure I feel like a Vulcan. Who are the Vulcans?" And I thought, I was terrorized at the moment. I thought, we should have had this conversation a little weeks before he showed up in full costume and 20 minutes to picture. He just looks at me and goes, "Gary, come here." And he walks me around. He walks me across the set, and we go outside, and we go around the studio a little bit, and he tells me all about the Vulcans. And rather than what I thought was, Vulcans just don't have any emotions. They're just completely, completely frontal cortex and analytical, and they don't have emotions.
Right.
Far be it from that. They're extremely emotional people, and they had figured out some time ago that in order to survive as a species, they needed to sublimate their emotional passions and learn how to sort of zen their way through the minefield of emotions, these volcanic, mercurial emotions that they were imbued with. And I thought, thank you so much for that. That, on one hand, it terrorized me that, oh my God, I wasn't thinking that at all, and here I am about to, do a very, very important scene. It suddenly made it at the same time more difficult, my role, difficult to have these mercurial emotions bubbling underneath the surface, and have to not give them away, to guard and sit on the impulses, but experience them and feel them. I said, well, thank you for that. And it's infinitely more challenging and more fun to portray that than what I was thinking it was. But so much harder. I go, oh no, there's so much more work I have to do. And I did. And so for that, it was the most difficult thing I've ever done. Really, what I thought was going to be the easiest breeze ended up being the most difficult, because I took it very seriously. And I really did. I really, my mind, smoke might have been coming out my ears in some of these things. I'm not sure, but the places I went to and to get to a very, very simple response, say, I'm not even sure it came across, but anyway, it was certainly a challenge and very rewarding and fulfilling to do.
Now, you said that you didn't know too much about the Star Trek universe before being in Enterprise, but you were in Voyager in 1995. You played Tanis, Theo Compton, I believe. So you at the very least you had acted in Star Trek before. Did anything that you did on Voyager, did any of that prepare you for this? I know it's two completely different series, different decades, different aliens, but was there any kind of similarity in the writing or in the production that made you that felt a little familiar once you came on to Enterprise?
No, not really at all. Oddly enough, it was when I did Voyager, I was coming right off of doing 23 episodes of Alienation. And then a couple of months later, I'm on the Voyager set. And it was helpful in that it was like being on another planet, because the set of Alienation was so relaxed and loose and playful and fun and laid back in a gung-ho way, if that makes any sense. And Star Trek is a tight run ship. They run we ran roughshod over the dialogue on Alienation. Really, it was if something came out that wasn't in the script and we just threw it in, they'd say, "Great, cut. Let's do the line, or go ahead and keep going." Sometimes they wouldn't even though the scene was over, they just let the camera run. And I said, "Why? The scene was over. How come you didn't yell?" He goes, "I just want to see what you guys do." And sometimes the scene would just go on, and that would be the main cut, just the ad lib that we do. Wasn't that, we didn't have that freedom on a Star Trek ship. In fact, quite the opposite. I think I had a bit of dialogue as Tanis. I had to approach the script girl and say, "Listen, do you mind if may I say this?" I think I changed a we to they and a the to their, making it possessive. And I thought it just seems to be grammatically more correct and convey what I think the character is trying to mean. And I expected them to say, "Oh, sure, go ahead." They say, "Well, we'll make a phone call." They had to call the tower on high to run my suggestions by, and about 40, and everybody just kind of hung out. And 30 minutes later, it came back. "Oh yeah, that'd be all right. That sounds good." So I go,
Sork, you know all about that, don't you? They don't.
Yeah.
Star Trek does not want you changing lines on the fly.
Not actors like them. It just felt more. No, not on the Star Trek. It was tight, wasn't it?
And sometimes it doesn't even sound grammatically correct what you're saying. Like you're trying to alter it to make it sound more conversational or the way you would say it. And they're about DLP, which is dead letter perfect. That's what they asked us about. DLP.
Yes, indeed.
You down with DLP?
You down with DLP? Yeah.
Dead letter perfect. Well, and when you're playing an alien, as you probably know, it's a little easier. It's a little easier to be precise with the language, because there's no throwing lines away like an American would. Like familiar with the vernacular, just throwing it away and just tossing it out there. When since they have aliens have their own language, they have to learn English and make every nuance of the language count. So, it's more challenging but more correct. So I don't complain with them doing that. I thought, well, this is just difficult, having come from the looseness and laxness of winging it in Alienation.
Did you ever have a line that you struggled with more than anything else in the world? I know Sork had one, which was the self-sealing stem bolts line. Or no, it was actually Aaron that did, and then on the 19th take, you forgot your line. Or
then
something.
I forgot my lines. But yeah, there's always these mouthful of words and
tongue twisters.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a tongue twister, and sometimes it's just a highly important bit of technical technical stuff.
Techno battle.
That's, you go through all these lines and you learn the technicals and you get it down, and then in the makeup chair in the morning you get the light purple pages that it's a 14 change. Then you go, oh my God, I had this down, but now I've got to change the technical dialogue, because it's very, very difficult to dump the old files and put in the new ones.
Hey, Gary, real quick, I'm going to ask you, can you move to a different room? There's a lot of ruckus going on.
A lot of ruckus. I will do that.
Thanks.
I will do that.
Yeah, Sork, you know all about the double yellows and the double blues or teals or whatever it was with the pages, right?
Yeah, cyan pages, all the colors that you could possibly think of, and the rainbow. And the worst is when you're trying to get ready for a scene and, you're on the set and somebody's handing you a revision that you're about to film that scene. So they give you about 10 minutes, 15. Yeah, go over this. You have 10, 15 minutes to look at it. But, if a significant portion of your dialogue alters, and you lose half your lines or you gain more lines, then it's a lot to get ready for in such a short time.
Right. Thanks, Gary.
You bet.
So, do you remember any of those specific lines, or do you remember like a line that cracked you up or just made it impossible, or did you like immediately forget them and threw them out of your brain forever?
No, yes. We become short-term memory experts. And so much, because there's so much that you have to memorize so quickly, and you do your takes, and then as soon as you're done with it, you just dump the files, and it's which is a hard thing to do when you have to come back and they realize, oh, we had a hair in the gate in the olden days, a hair in the gate. I have to go again, and you go, oh my God, I already dumped that file. Literally, you can't even remember a line you just said 30 times. I've lost it. But I remember one line. I said, "Oh, why not? We got nothing better to do today." Can't even say it now. Why not? We've got nothing better to do today. And I said, do the writers actually ever say these words and realize how twisted they make your mouth? Why not? We've got nothing better to do today.
Kind of sounds like a song.
It's got a rhythmic beat to it.
I've got questions about a song. The Sons of Kirk.
Yes.
Yeah, I was listening. I was listening to one of your cover songs. It says the man becomes a legend with his Starship Boys. The ladies he met became his box of toys. I kind of like that one.
It's some of my better lyric writing ever. I particularly love that song, and I'm like, God, who knew? Who knew I could be a songwriter? But apparently, well, this is one of what we call a hybrid song, where we steal outright the music of another artist. In this case, Chuck Berry. Take his one song.
That's the Johnny B. Good song, right?
Johnny B. Good, and just change it around a little bit. Add Star Trek lyrics, and that works good. We can't sell it because it's copyrighted and all that, but sort of what we do is at a convention, you may purchase a photograph of us, and we'll sign it. And by the way, here's a free CD with all this uncopyrighted or copyrighted stuff. But now we're doing an all original Star Trek album. 10 songs with the music and the lyrics that we wrote.
Oh wow, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
all original songs,
all original songs, original music, all Star Trek, all the time, and it's a ball to do, a hell of a lot of work, but really fun stuff to do. So I'm very excited about it. We're about 2/3 of the way through the process, which is pretty good. But it's this COVID virus just kind of cut us off at the knees, man. But,
it's hard to finish an album, man.
Yeah.
Do you have an album name?
Huh?
Do you have an album name?
I guess right now it's the Sons of Kirk. I'm not sure.
All right, makes sense.
We'll that'll be the last thing to christen it an actual title. But I'm thinking I'm leaning more for the Sons of Kirk.
What was the idea for starting that up? Like, what got you interested in doing that?
Sork, excellent question. I was talking to my convention agent and getting ready to go do the Star Trek Las Vegas convention, and she was asking me, "What do you want?" And I said, "Well, I've gone the route of getting flown out and put up in a hotel, and they bring you out the next day, and you do your 60 minutes on stage, and then you do a meet and greet, and then you sign autographs, and then they zip you off in the morning and pay you just a blank fee." And I thought, you know what? I'm looking at a lot of money go out of my hands doing it that way, because they're lined up around the block. I mean, if I started doing the math on what I charge for a photograph, I'm losing a lot of money here. So I said, I would just like a table, and we'll split the photo ops 50-50 with the convention. That's fine, but you just give me a table for 5 days and let me do my thing. And they said okay, and she said, "Oh, by the way," she says, "you have a band too, don't you?" And I thought, well, I got a bunch of guys that come over on Thursday nights and we jam. I wouldn't call it a band, but that's what I started to say, but that's not what I said. I said, "Oh, well, why do you ask?" And she said, "Well, they pay a lot of money." I said, "Yes, we got a band. I got a band in the Sons of Kirk. We do classic rock tunes with my cute, funny, sexy Star Trek lyrics." And she goes, and she's laughing, which is a good sign. Let me check with them and get back to you. 5 weeks go by. I go, I guess that
that didn't go over.
She comes back. She says, "Oh, they're wild about the idea. They want to book you in the top of the Rio Hotel and the Voodoo Lounge 3 nights." And I go, "Wow, that's great. That's fantastic." And I get off the phone and I said, "Wow, I don't have any songs. I don't have a band. What do I do now?" So I made a phone call to Mike Thompson, my guitar buddy, and he has a great guy he plays with, Mark Rivera, and they know some great drummers. We got Neil Merzenkowski.
Yep.
And we got together, and I threw together a bunch of songs, taking songs that we already play, cover songs, and I just changed the lyrics and took that music because we had to be on stage in 2 months, and we wanted to be practiced and professional. So we did that, and we played our three nights, and it was just good. And these guys are great musicians, and I knew it was going to be a good deal when we hadn't even played the first night yet. We just did the sound check, and Adam Mallon was in the room, and he rode down the elevator with me, and he says, "Yeah, you guys sound awesome." He said, "I thought that stereo was playing, but it was you guys playing these cover tunes." He said, "Would you guys like to be our house band for the next convention next summer?" And I go, "Wow, well, that sounds like a lot of work." He goes, "It is a lot of work." And when he said it's a lot of work, I thought I heard a lot of money.
That's your universal translator right there.
Yeah, there it is.
He said that, I just heard a lot of money. So we did the house band for 2 years, and it was great. And I said, well, what we really need to do is forget this cover tunes, hybrid song. Let's just write some original stuff. So we started writing originals. We've got 7 or 8. Or no, actually, we almost have a complete 10 songs ready to go. We're recording them and putting them together. And if we ever have a convention again, we'll be on stage playing. So been hell lot of work, but really fun. And it sounds great. The tracks I'm getting from Mike sending, they just sound great.
Not only that, but instead of meeting together on Thursdays to play in your garage, you actually got gigs that you
That's right. That's right. And get to play for my beloved Star Trek family. All my friends.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that album. I've heard you guys jam a couple times, and we definitely watched you be the house band. You guys were the house band 2 years running, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It's rocking good time. It was always a good time. You guys have your sports coats on top of the Sons of Kurt t-shirts, right?
Our pimp suits, yes. We
Yeah.
blue and few red.
Wow.
You know, I am looking forward to that album very much. It's going to be awesome. I do want to give people an idea of who you are as a person, Gary, because you and I have been friends for a good amount of time. I think the first time I officially met you was going up the escalator of the Sherman Oaks Galleria to 24 Hour Fitness. That was maybe like 10 years ago.
Wow.
But then afterwards, and we worked on Renegades together. But a few years ago, when we were shooting second Renegades, and you were going to come on set, it was at Laurel Canyon Stages, where a lot of things get shot, like Renegades, like Firefly, other things like that. And we were separating the rooms for the actors that were going to be there. There's like Walter Koenig's room, Nichelle Nichols' room, Terry Farrell, and we're writing out the little piece of paper that go on the doors. And for yours, it just said Gary Graham, but then I wrote in the middle, I made it say Gary motherfucking Graham. And people were kind of like, are you sure he's going to be okay with that? Is he
cool with that?
And I'm like, oh, trust me on this one. And then when I showed you up to your room, I just remember that $1 million smile when you saw that. You're like, huh?
That's they know.
They know me.
Oh, yeah. That's fun. Good times.
Mm.
Yeah, I enjoy working on those. Those were fun. Crazy.
Renegades, Axanar, a lot of the fans.
Yeah. And I like them because I like the low budget projects because basically you just do what you want and mostly they let you.
They don't have to call upstairs when you change this to that.
They just let you go, and it's kind of nice.
Did you? And just most recently, we worked with you on the Assassins Apprentice II, which will be coming out shortly as well. That was a great time. I did want to ask you: was there ever a role, like in the decades that you worked, whether it was Star Trek, whether it was a smaller or indie film, was there ever a role that was just like the furthest from who you are as a person, where you're just like, you either thought, I don't know if I can pull this off, or you thought, this is really fun to completely escape, from the reality of who I am and just totally lose myself in a completely different character?
I try to make pretty much everything I do something somewhat like that. Why repeat yourself? Where's the fun and the challenge of that? Where's the stretching? I try to stay away from safe and go for something that's really, really, really nuts. That's why another reason why I love these low budget pictures. Did a thing with Brian Thompson. Brian Thompson, the actor? He did this thing called the Extendables. I think it was a parody, a comedy parody on these Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Sylvester
Stallone, Van Damme action movies.
There are like a dozen of them, yeah.
And he played a highly alcoholic, drug addicted, sex addicted leading man star, and I played his agent, trying to keep him out of trouble. And I chose. Let's see, I was a kind of a Jew, Yiddish, Russian, and hypertense, into pharmaceuticals, mostly uppers to stay awake and stay on top of it. And that was about as far from me as I could possibly put it, and had a ball doing it. Just crazy stuff I was doing, and just having a ball. And there was no right or wrong. There was only sober and toxic. And it was just a gas to do. Really crazy stuff. Uh, Dying is easy. Comedy is hard. And I was doing a little of both.
Dying is easy.
When you attempt comedy and you get caught in the act, it's just really, really ugly. Um, so, but I like playing highly eccentric characters. The more eccentric, the more balls to juggle, the better, because it's subconscious mind is freed when you busy the conscious mind with simple tasks. Catch the ball, throw the ball. Catch the ball, throw the ball. You put your conscious mind on that, the subconscious can just run. It's like a monkey running loose in your head, and I just love playing like that.
Yeah.
When you've been doing this a while, you look for ways to challenge yourself and come up with something different, something that occupies your mind and keeps it alive and playful. So that's where acting is really fun. I don't know how good I am at it, but I'm having a ball inside. So
I have a question for you. We started this venture with our late great friend Aaron Eisenberg, who's now passed away. But one of the things that he talks about is how fans approach him about the work he did. The episode you did really touched me because I had experiences that were similar, and I kind of used that to get through it. And people come to me and ask me about, growing up at the same time as them, so they felt like we grew up together. What are some of the things that the fans say to you about your characters and how they relate to them?
I was doing a press junket, one of these things where they put a camera on you and mic you up, and they go around the country to various different. Where'd that come from? Various different cities and networks and affiliates. That's what it is. It's affiliates round robin. You ever done these? They sit in a chair and they do 30 of them in a row. And you do a 10-minute interview, and then, okay, now from Oakland, California, here's Jim McNee. And hi, Jim. I'd write the name down so I could refer to them like we're old pals and all that. Not only have we not met, we're not meeting. We're just hearing. I'll tell you, Jim. When I started, but you do it just a string of these. Maybe take a 10-minute break in between the hours. And I was doing one of these, and somewhere in the Midwest, Cincinnati or something, a guy came on. We were talking about alienation, and he says, "Well, we really like the alienation movies and all that. I never really had this is the interview. He says, my dad and I were never really close, but one time we had of closeness between the two of us. We both liked alienation, and every Monday night we would watch the show together, and it was like, and then we talk about it afterwards, and it was like the one thing that we had between us that we could both relate to and we both loved very much. And it was, I just wanted to thank you for that series because it brought my dad and me closer. We kind of set our differences apart for that 1 hour and really bonded. I just wanted to thank you for that. I got a little bit clamped, here and now. I go, oh my God, you think about what, are we informing the public? Are we getting them to look at things from a different point of view, relate to other people, and alienation in this case, relate to another species? There's things in my life that I have difficulty blending in with society and all that. These guys are going through, because they're from 3 light years away. And here's this guy having problems communicating with his dad, but alienation helped him. And it just gave me such a feeling of warmth and validation for the work that I do, that we all do, to reach out and touch people on a level like that. It's just very humbling and really beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Gary, I don't know why I didn't lead with this, but my little nerd heart just realized what the real question of the day here is. And that is, it goes a little something like this, Gary. You played Soval, Ambassador Soval, in Enterprise. Vulcans, as we know, live to be 250, maybe 300 years old. Okay, let's assume that Soval was somewhere around 100, maybe middle-aged, 100 years old, right? So he's got another 150 or so years ahead of him or more. There's a new Pike series coming down the pike, right, on CBS All Access, which will take place, I think, 80 or 100 years after Enterprise, meaning unless Soval had an untimely death, he is still alive. He is now reaching the end of his career age, like maybe the equivalent of like 60, 65, 70 for humans.
All right.
If CBS All Access calls and says, or CBS, I guess, calls and says, hey, Gary, we'd love for you to reprise your role as Ambassador Soval, what do you say?
What do you think?
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of money. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I obviously love the character. Reason I teamed up with the Axonar group to do that. I love the character, and I would love to see him 100 years older, a little bit wiser. Maybe the arrogance is melded into something else, a sureness. I don't know. Be interesting to see what they came up with. Their take on Soval 100 years older. I would love.
So would you play it differently? Would you?
I would play him older and wiser.
Older and wiser, yeah.
Maybe his I'm not sure. Maybe his emotions are more in check because, as Archer famously intoned, you have been raising your voice to make a point. You have been on Earth too long. Maybe he's been on Earth all this time, and he's become very un-Vulcanish.
Oh,
or maybe the High Command saw the terrorization of Soval from his long tenure on Earth and drew him back to Tenton for those 80 years. Maybe he became the ultra Vulcanish.
Spock's father Sarek actually in The Next Generation famously started losing control of his stoicism, losing control of his emotions in his old age. That's something that does affect some Vulcans, like it's like a disease or something, an old age disease. What if they said, Soval, you're coming back, but you hardly have control. You have these bouts of being like stoic and wise and serious, and then other bouts of just like being in a fit of rage. I think that would be pretty amazing too. It'd be great. Seems like it'd be a great gig acting wise. Personally, I'd just love to see Soval back.
Wouldn't it be funny if he had been on Earth too long and it wasn't just prone to bouts of anger, but was prone to bouts of lightheartedness, giddiness, maybe smiles, maybe laughs, maybe the first Vulcan ever recorded laughing or smiling or letting it go or dancing the boogaloo. I don't know. Be interesting to play with.
Yeah.
Vulcan has been on Earth too long.
Well, I'd love to see it. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see it. I hope it happens. I hope you do get a call for sure. I think that would be amazing.
Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Count me in.
Yeah, as an actor, it's hard to turn down roles, especially on projects that are as infamous and as legendary as Star Trek.
Yes. I'm just honored to have been a part of it. to go on and do even more in a new direction would be amazing.
Now, when you do conventions, do you get people that come with Alienation merchandise or posters or photographs that you haven't seen? Because
on occasion, it's been a while, over 30 years since we did Alienation. So
yeah,
but occasion, yeah. I get people coming up saying, "Hey, where are your Hollywood Nights pictures?" What?
Yeah.
So I've got those too. Yeah.
We didn't even touch Robot Jocks either, man. I want to see a Robot Jocks poster.
Right, yeah.
That's for Don Crandall, by the way. Superfan Don Crandall always talks about you in Robot Jocks, and
nice.
A couple times he sent me like fight scenes of you and these giant robots and battling it out. So shout out to Don Crandall for that.
I love it. 10 weeks in Rome. That's what I call that. 10 weeks in Rome, man.
Is that where? Yeah, 10 weeks in Rome.
10 weeks in Rome is where we filmed it in Rome. At I forgot what the studios were, but it was. It's fun driving to and from work every day, going past the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then the hotel was on the Via Veneto. Incredible place and I would jog, just to take off the, the stress of being in this suit and doing these fight scenes. I would just go jogging past 2,000-year-old monuments. It's just astounding experience.
Wow. I'd like to see what that craft service table was like.
Recognizable. I mean, it was all Italian,
that's what I mean. Some linguine, some pasta,
espresso,
risotto, and this.
Lunch for 2 hours.
Lunch for 2 hours.
There was a nap involved.
You need a nap, a glass of wine.
You guys know how to work, all right, Paisan? These guys know how to work.
Yeah, they know how to work.
Speaking of work, we're just about out of time here. Speaking of napping. No,
Siesta.
But Gary, it's been awesome having you as always. It's been great having you as a gym partner, by the way. Looking forward to when we can finally jump back in the gym and get back to it when it's all taken care of.
There it is.
We like to.
There it is. Whoa. Those are some guns, though, ladies and gentlemen.
Wake up. It's been 3 months. Get your lazy ass up there. Come on.
Soval. There we go.
Nice.
Anyway, thanks very much for joining us. We're really looking forward to the Sons of Kirk finished product. It's going to be awesome.
Can't wait to strap on a Telecaster and get out there and perform for y'all. Spent 3 months with the downtime when we're not recording. I'm just going over these songs and making sure they're perfect, and coming up with new ideas to take into the recording booth.
If you need a rapper, let me know. I can throw some.
Hey, I'm gonna bear that in mind because
I'll throw a verse on there. You never know.
A good rock song, man. You want to do 16 measures, a little departure with some rap. So
exactly.
I may come calling on you, brother.
I'm here for you. 16 bars. I got 16 for you.
There you go. Excellent. Yeah. All right.
I think I speak for everyone in the entire world when I say I would love to see that. Seriously, that would be awesome. Sorok's been a half Vulcan before, so there's something there. We're still trying to.
We want to start doing that because this is not going to be the end all album. We plan on doing more. Even Tim Russ, we've talked to Tim Russ about a collaboration because I played with him before, and it's a joy. It's just a joy. So hope to start going around and including as many of our Star Trek family as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been pushing for the Tuvok and Soval thing for a while now. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
So
it's gonna happen.
That'll be fun. 16 bars, man.
16 bars. So I got you. Let me know. Just say the word. I'll be there.
Good, man. That's great to know, Siraj.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, we got to run. Gary, awesome time as always. We'll see you again real soon. And for those of you at home, stick around. Let's watch some more stuff. We need like an outro for the virtual TrekCon. We need to be like, hey,
yeah, I'll work on it.
See you next time on the thing.
There it is.
See you next time, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks.